Welcome back to That's Life with John Carver. This is episode number 379, and I'm calling this episode Social Cues and You. There are large numbers of people who do not see social cues. These are nonverbal forms of communication that every human uses, even if they're unaware that they're using them. Nicole Berkins, PhD, shares, quote, "Social cues can be really anything nonverbal that sends a message that communicates something about how that person is thinking or feeling about engaging with you. The nonverbal aspects of communication are the first, most meaningful aspects of communication for infants," unquote. So there's quite a few social cues that you may have heard of in children and adults, and they include facial expressions, which includes microfacial expressions. It's really important that you pay attention to those too. They're very, very small and very unnoticeable by most people. Gestures is a great example. How about posture? Body language, eye contact or lack of eye contact. This is a big one. Voice tone and volume. Ooh, I could have a whole show about that. Recognizing these social cues is not always natural for a large percentage of the population, so during conversations, many people mistranslate the intentions and feelings of the person to whom they're speaking. Noticing the overt and covert actions of a listener is essential to understand their social cues. Let me say that again. Noticing the overt and covert actions of a listener is essential to understand their social cues. The challenge is that most people want to really say what they want to say without considering how they're being received by the one listening to them. Social cues are codes sent to a speaker or someone standing close that alerts someone what is not said at the moment. Many times they're also sent to a listener many times. That's not always noticed by other people. Social cues can be leveraged to bridge a conversation to one that's meaningful and productive. Social cues can be mirrored back to a listener to create an unspoken level of synergy. This mirroring, as it's called, happens all the time in certain industries and in many conversations. There's another piece of social cues that are invisible. They are the vibes that people emit when people are around them. You say, John, what are you talking about vibes? The ability to sense these vibes is typically reserved for people who are empaths. One definition of really empathy, written by Leah Campbell, is, quote, "a person highly attuned to the feelings and emotions of those around them." Empaths feel what another person feels and is feeling at the time at a very deep emotional level. Their ability to discern what others are feeling goes beyond what you think of as empathy, which is defined simply as the ability to understand the feelings of others. So empaths are much deeper than those who just have, quote, empathy. So social cues can be taught only if there's a way to get people away from really staring at their smartphones 24/7, 365. The challenge is that they're not taught in most communities. So as a result, communication is broken and relationships are fractured. So for you, I would suggest that you master and leverage social cues and your life changes in extraordinary ways. My name is John Carver. Thanks for watching.